2, 1, and we were live at 2. But we are live. We're back after a Thanksgiving weekend. I had a good Thanksgiving. How about you, Brian?
I did too. I had some turkey, as per usual, and then
that is what you're supposed to do on that day.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of turkey. I get the turkey tom from Jimmy John's every other day, basically.
Is that how you celebrated Thanksgiving?
That's how I celebrated. I got a turkey tom. No, I had a real turkey. But anyway.
We have a turkey of a guest today. I'm just trying to buy about 30 seconds of the people getting here. Do you want to go ahead and introduce our guest, Brian?
Yeah, so our guest is from the PNW, the Pacific Northwest. He's a stand-up comedian who's been a featured guest on Bob and Tom, the Bob and Tom Show, if anybody's familiar with that, probably. He's written for Newsweek, and more recently, he did a comedy show at a hot dog restaurant in St. Louis. So welcome all the way from Olympia, Washington, Mr. Sam Miller.
And you didn't go to the hot dog show?
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
That show at the hot dog place was so fun. It wasn't a lot of people there, but I had a hot dog and I just did comedy. It was nice.
I was trying to get all my friends to go, and everybody was like, no. And I'm the type of person that's like not super good at social situations.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to go by myself. This is weird, but I should have gone. I feel bad now, but
I was supposed to be in Branson, Missouri that night, and then the guy flaked on me, a real turd bucket out there. I'm not going to say his name, but don't work for him.
I'm just kidding.
You can message me, and I'll tell you who not to work for him. But yeah, wound up at Steve's Hot Dogs, and it ruled. It was great.
Good.
So, yeah.
Well,
what do you get on your hot dog usually? Are you a ketchup guy, or you get all the fixings on it?
You know what's funny, man? I love the Chicago dogs, man. That's what I go with. When I was in Missouri, too, I think that's the best hot dog I've had. We have Seattle dogs up here, but I can't stand them. So
what's on a Seattle dog?
It's like cream cheese. It's stupid. I hate it. Yeah, people. Yeah.
Hey, I could go with some chives on there and whatnot. So.
Yeah, you could do something with it, but I don't know, man. Cream cheese on a hot dog, it's already pretty creamy meat, Right. You don't need extra.
I feel like they start to run out of ideas the further west food gets, and so it's like we got to think of something crazy.
Yeah,
pickles.
But I don't know. We got the Mexican food out here though, and in the Northwest, we got slamming Asian food like Korean food. I love Korean food, and we got really good Korean food. So I will only take so much slander. I know what Denver is about. I've been there. And there's some good food in Denver. You got that green chili everywhere.
Yeah, I got a Tex-Mex. It didn't sit. It never sits well with me when I have it, but it is what it is.
Right on. Well, thanks for joining us again, Sam. So, and you have a pretty interesting background. I guess, you're married, you have a couple kids, but like leading up to that, it was kind of interesting. So, why don't you tell? No, I'm not sure if anybody knows about you in the chat or who's watching, but
yeah. So I've been sober 15 years. I used to get in a lot of trouble. I got locked up a lot. I was into methamphetamine real bad, and then I got sober in 2008, and then I had kids in 2010. I started doing comedy in 2014. And life's gotten very, very interesting now. And now I'm a professional comedian, and I do it full time. And I get to go on lots of podcasts, and that makes me happy. This is my first. I was supposed to be on a Dallas sports thing, but it didn't work out, and I'm still upset about it. So this is my my comeuppance. So
yeah,
you gotta merge those audiences, right? You gotta spread it out.
Yeah, diversify,
That's
So sobriety is a big part of your life, and
yeah.
So what does that mean, like sober for you? Like, what does sober mean for you? Like,
I don't do nothing. I don't do drugs. That's what sober means to me. I think it means other stuff to other people. Well, I don't know. There's sobriety, and then there's recovery. So like, you can be in recovery and not be like totally sober. Like, there's a lot of people that are California sober. And if that works for you, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. But I'm one of them cats. I actually talk about it. Like I can't smoke pot because it makes me want to drink. If I drink, I'll wind up using methamphetamines. There's this old school saying that I always liked. It's basically like once you're a pickle, you can never be a cucumber again, you know?
Yeah.
And I am indeed a pickled man. So
Pickled that liver quite well, I'm sure.
yeah, it was really bad, man. Like I dealt with like psychosis and things like that, you know, and even in recovery, man, I even got arrested after I got sober, like trying to just figure stuff out, you know, like I didn't know how to deal with my emotions, so I just either fight people or run away from them, and that doesn't work very well. So
yeah, dang.
Does it help now? Like, and I don't want to say like totally, but is the society kind of getting more accepting of like addiction as like a real, you know, psychological thing? It's not just like, oh, you just can't handle it or whatever.
I think so, man. I think so, but I think people try to get you to play by these rules, and sometimes I'm not into that. Like people like me to tell my story like a certain way, and basically, like I don't really jive with that, because the thing is that I loved meth and it was awesome for a long time, and I don't really regret nothing. So like I'm grateful that I'm in recovery, but there's no point in me, you know, sitting around being like, oh man, what a bummer.
Right.
It's not like that, man. I was really good at meth, man. I killed it.
So you played football in high school, or is that
Yeah, that's the thing, man, is that I was a good football player, but I was really great at meth, and so it didn't really work out. So
I mean, you put it like that.
yeah. No, I was, man. I played at Timberline High School. I was 1 year ahead. I pretty much just played freshman ball. But you know what's funny is Jonathan Stewart was 1 year behind me. And so if I would have kept playing, I would have wound up blocking for Jonathan Stewart. But yeah, I do really well. I have even now, I think I would have wound up playing tight end or something like that. I have about 6'5". Right now I'm 360, but when I was in high school I was 280. I have great hands. It's pretty wild, man. I'm fast too. I used to pull a lot when I was playing. I used to be a lead blocker a lot of the times, running sweeps and stuff like that. But like I said, man, there's the stuff you give up for. I gave it up because I wanted to get high way more than I wanted to do 2 a days and all that crap. And so
now we'll just ask one more question about that. I don't want to talk about, you know, serious the whole time. This is a football podcast, but that's a good question. What made you go sober? If you're willing to
so the morning, I kept getting locked up, and my life went downhill like it does, you know. The consequences got worse. Drugs and alcohol were taken away a lot more than they were giving me. And then the morning of June 10th, 2008, I woke up in front of a movie theater in downtown Olympia. I was under a tarp with a homeless lady. We were doing tarp stuff. I'm not going to go into details. And by the way, I talk about this in my act, like she was homeless, but like I was homeless too. So this was like a lateral move for me. You know? Yeah. It would have been weird if I woke up with a middle class lady under the tarp, you know, because it's hard to get middle class ladies.
You gotta stay on the same playing field. Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard getting middle class ladies under tarps with you. I tried. So. But yeah, I don't know. Something snapped in my head, and I saw this lady walking her dog before work, and and what's crazy is that theater, the Capitol Theater in downtown Olympia, was where I recorded my debut comedy album on Stand Up Records at. So it's pretty wild. And I told that story about waking up in front of it under a tarp, and and that album wound up hitting #1 on iTunes on the comedy charts. It was really cool. So
dang.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's crazy how life kind of has that symmetry sometimes, you know.
For sure, man. Yeah, being a full-time professional stand-up comedian, like it sucks on so many levels, but there's also that dichotomy where like it's also like amazing on all these other levels. But it's really stressful. So I imagine it's a little bit like being a quarterback or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like Geno Smith facing that Cowboys defense tonight, right?
Oh, dude, we're in trouble, man.
Micah Parsons is going to eat your. I mean, it's a rough schedule for the Seahawks here on out. Do you think you guys will have a chance for the playoffs still, or do you think it's just?
I don't think so, but that's okay. You know, I don't think we should. I think we got real comfortable with Geno too fast, and we didn't. I don't know. It was amazing last year, and it was fun last year because we're like, oh, we ate the Broncos lunch. Look at this trade, and, oh, Russell, like the Pete Carroll and Dan Snyder, they must have known something, And then now you look at where we're at. It's like, I wish we could redo it, and maybe we could get Russell back for the rest. We would
just get a refund real quick. Just give you 1 second-round pick back for Russell.
Yeah,
It's a tough decision, regardless. I think it was time. It seemed like that was the case. The relationship.
Yeah.
And Russ, but.
Well, Johnny, do you want to pull up the phone number on the slides?
Yeah, give me a sec. I gotta pull it up.
While we're pulling it up, I'm gonna give some people opportunities to call. They might not want to call. They might just want to chat. But call and leave a voicemail for you or for us, and we can play them in a few minutes. But yeah, so what sort of got you into stand-up? Like what was the first thing that got you into stand-up?
People in my life told me that I should do it. I've been a funny dude for a while. When I was in junior high and high school, I just wanted to be funny, but I didn't really do a very good job. And then actually it was after I got sober that I kind of realized oh, okay, I shouldn't just be weird. I should I figured out how to be funny. And then, and then stand up, it's more just figuring out how, I don't know how to work a crowd. You learn little tricks and stuff like that. But yeah, I really fell into it. I was walking down the street one day and there was an open mic and I was like, oh, I'll try it. And then the minute I did it, it snapped in my head the same way drugs did, where I was like, oh, I'm just going to get high all the time and then everything will be fine. And the same thing with stand-up. It's the first time I did it, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to do stand-up all the time and everything will be fine. And it hasn't been fine at all, but it's good too. You know what I mean? It's good too.
If you can do it for a living, man, that's what you want, right?
It's the best, man. It's the best.
Yeah.
So.
You didn't find a disadvantage, trying to get into it, kind of starting at an older age, or?
No, there's moments, but no, I think it's honestly better when I started it. So I was 30 when I started, or 31 or whatever, and. Yeah, it's been awesome because there's a lot of comics. I'm not trying to win some woke off or anything like that, but there's a lot of comics that are they're these 20-year-old white dudes that have just never done anything. They just drive Uber and try to get laid all the time.
Right.
And they have no skills, no job. They live with their parents, and then they just go up on stage and they're like, women are weird. Why won't they date me? And it's
right.
you have
you need
nothing
some kind of interesting perspective. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I lived a life. I went to jail in Yakima. That's interesting. Everybody wants to know what jail in Yakima is like. You don't want to go there, but people love knowing what it's like.
Do you think that's why some of the best comedians are kind of have problematic personal lives?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's money in the bank, man. All these folks are trying to figure out what the hell they're going to talk about on stage, and I got too much to talk about. I'm good. And now trying to be a dad, it's ridiculous. I can't believe I'm a parent. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right.
Right.
I feel like they shouldn't have let me bring my kids home.
Sorry, sir. You don't look like you're ready.
Yeah. We listen to you talk and we're like, no. You shouldn't be a parent. Yeah. It's just so easy to make babies,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old and he's it's one of those things where somebody told me this advice. They're whatever age your kid is, that's the best age. He's it's not ever oh, when they were 2, that was awesome. Or, oh, when they were 7, it's whatever age they are, it's very interesting for whatever they're doing. Cause it's just new stuff happening all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, so everybody, we talked about earlier, if you want to call in, leave a message for Sam or even talk to us about fantasy football. By the way, Sam, do you there's a phone number on the screen, but Sam, do you play fantasy football? Have you ever played fantasy football?
I do. I'm in 2 leagues, man. I'm in a league with a bunch of rappers, and I'm in another league with a bunch of comedians, and it's pretty great, man. It's pretty great.
How did you get in the rapper league? I'm curious.
Oh, because I'm friends with all these rappers because I used to do battle rap back in the day. A lot of people don't know
Oh, right
that.
on.
I did battle rap back in the day, and also when I was homeless, there was all these rappers in Olympia, and they let me sleep on their porch on this couch, and I was like a guard dog kind of. It worked out pretty well.
Do you know like Sam LaChow and what was like the other guy? Raz Simone, some rappers from Seattle I listened to.
No, this is Olympia, Washington, man.
Oh, so,
right. I know Macklemore, all right. I know Ben.
Oh, dude.
I know Tyler XP, who works with him a lot, and a lot of other great artists that are kind of right. They haven't really broken through like they have. It's funny you'll love this. I don't know. I know you guys play fantasy, but it's a 20-man league and it's brutal.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do a 32-man league. Yeah.
Huh?
I wanted to do a 32-person league. So you're
you don't though.
In the bottom of the barrel. I think it'd be kind of fun. I'm into that kind of thing.
It would be cooler if there was a way to stop people from hoarding quarterbacks, basically, and trying to screw you on your bye week. That's basically what I'm going through right now. I'm 19th out of 20 right now.
Damn.
I'm having a really bad year because I leaned in real hard on the Giants and it didn't work out, man. I had Saquon and who else did I have? Their
Jones.
Quarterback. What's his name?
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, before he got his neck. I thought I had something going on. I was like, hey, man, maybe I got a bargain, So it's rough, man. It's rough. I got the Broncos defense, though, and they killed it They won me that matchup last week, so.
Right on.
Yeah, 4 turnovers, or was it?
Yeah, which is good because I have Dobbs was my quarterback, and I think I'm better off with him having a bye this week. So I think I'm just running without a QB this week because I'm not going to give one of these dirty rappers a freaking anything for a quarterback for 1 week.
Pick up a Joe Flacco or something. He's supposed to play on Sunday, I think.
He is supposed to play on Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh my God, where's my phone?
You gotta check to see if Joe Flacco.
Dude, this could be a podcast where do you really think there's no way I'm gonna be able to get him? Somebody picked him up already. Because I'll tell you, this is my issue, is that stand-up comedy is all consuming, and a lot of times on Sundays I'm flying home. That's what I'm doing. I did a show Saturday, Florida, LA, Houston. I'm flying somewhere to someplace else doing more comedy. It's I'm not going to complain about it because I'd look like a total jerk, but it's hard being a comedian. I can't watch as much football as I want to.
That is tough. No, I worked Sunday nights at this other job a few years ago. It was tough trying to watch games. So were you at I'm curious now because you were talking about Geno earlier. Were you in the camp of wanting to trade for quarterback this year with that extra draft capital, trading up for a CJ Stroud at number 2? I know it's kind of hindsight, but what's funny is I have Stroud in my other league. In the 20-man league, I haven't really been able to focus on that much strategy at all. I've basically just been trying to to scramble at the last minute because Thursday sneaks up on me. Even right now, by the way, just got Joe Flacco. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, we're helping out. We're making a big difference, guys.
Dude, honestly, it's so funny because I'm gonna go in the group chat and tell them that, hey, I'm on the Broncos podcast. There we go, man. My starting quarterback, Joe Flacco.
Let's go. W's in the chat for Flacco, guys.
Yeah. That's so funny. If that works out, man. What if he has a game too, dude? Oh my God. Because I don't want to be Sacco, man. You got to pay $50 if you're Sacco.
Hey, last year he had a couple games for the Jets where he was legit. Was it last year or was it the year before? I don't remember now.
Might have been the year before, but still, I don't think he's going to do anything. And I'm not trying to be, a downer, but that's he's 100 years old. How old is he? But I do 38. Think with your 20-person league, that's a great pickup because if no, because people are on bye this week, And this is like one of the bigger weeks for buys for quarterbacks too. So yeah, no, that's a great pickup. And I think he'll get you. I don't know what your scoring is. I bet he'll get you like 12 points. Like 12.
We'll see.
Points.
We'll see. You know, a couple of years ago, I was almost just like with the comedy stuff. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm not playing anymore because it's too frustrating. And what happened? I literally draft night. I was on stage, and like it's just not as fun. People are like, "Oh, you can auto draft. You can set your whatever." And I'm like, no, man, it's not because they do, like I was featuring for Jackie Fabulous, who's been on America's Got Talent, and I was in Tacoma featuring for her. And like and that's the other thing too, is when I got off stage, I wanted to hang out and talk to people, and I had T-shirts to sell and crap, you know.
Right.
And you know, so I try not to be too salty about it, but yeah, what a pickup, man, Joe Flacco.
Well, we've been talking about doing a league for like us and our guests and some people that are like regular listeners. So we might invite you to that. But you know, 3 leagues is going to be too much. I'll say that right now. But we won't do anything more than like 10 people. But
1 league is too much right now.
Honestly, but you think it would like increase your chances to win, but it's just triple the heartbreak usually.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you forget about one of the leagues to set your lineup, so it's rough.
Right.
Yeah, it is. I'm just I just got the notification about Von Miller, man. That's rough.
Oh, that is I didn't
see
that
kind of podcast where you talk about off field.
Talk about it.
If I had seen what was, I'm not going to say anything about it because I didn't even see what was going on. I just know that there was charges against him for like his wife is pregnant. That's all I know. It's bad.
It didn't look good, but I will say like. I have no comment on it.
Yeah, nice, dude. Way to go.
I was like, wait, I really can't say anything.
Sometimes the hottest take is no take at all.
Yeah,
I know. Perna made a video about it, so it's on.
Yeah,
we'll go
check out him for
the official comment on that.
I have no feelings about it. I know you guys. We talked earlier about like the Russell Wilson stuff, and I'm going to tell you my relationship with Russell Wilson when he was a Seahawk was interesting because a lot of people just looked past all the weird stuff, but I was obsessed with it. Do you know about the concussion water? Do you know about this magic blessed water that he drinks?
What?
No.
People can look this up. It's like he said it helped him recover from concussions. It's like the special water that he drinks.
It's like TB12, his version of it.
Yeah. But it's like blessed, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, like the Subway thing was amazing. I'm really into it. I don't think a lot of folks they have these views, these opinions. When really, like, none of us know. Like, you heard Marshawn, and Marshawn's my favorite football player of all time. Like, I love him off field, on field. By the way, that dude got a DUI. Nobody cares. They're like, he should be able to drive.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. Let him go. Let the man go. I think they dropped the charges just out of principle. Yeah. But yeah, he is such a unique, strange person. And then I've heard stuff about because he was always at the children's hospital, which is wonderful, like visiting kids and stuff.
Yeah, he didn't miss a week, I think so.
Yeah. And I wonder sometimes like what I don't know why. I don't know. It weirds me out because there's no other NFL player that's doing it that much, Yeah. And I think it might have been a move. Yeah. I love it. You found it right away. Yeah. It's like special water.
Reliant
recovery water.
That's 2030. That's a deep cut.
It has nano bubbles.
I'm not saying we have real medical proof.
Which sounds like something you would make up if you were trying to sell somebody water. Yeah.
Can you buy this on
evangelist
Amazon, I wonder?
Zeal, it says. Yeah. No, and a lot of quarterbacks there. So I feel like quarterbacks have this sort of like ego where it's like something works for them, and so it has to work for everybody. And
Yeah.
it's like TB12, Aaron Rodgers weird stuff with like how he's recovering and doing like, and then like this stuff with Russell and quarterbacks are just weird people, and you just have to have some sort of ego and mentality to just be a quarterback in the NFL. But the good ones,
a lot of
do
dedication.
anyways.
I mean, you got the Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca thing too. Or did you just say that? I probably.
You know, the other one that cracked me up was at the. So I know folks that in the entertainment industry or whatever, and that you know about Russell, you know, the whole thing with Future and how Sierra was with Future.
Yeah.
And so like at like every NFL team, I think they have these DJs at practices, but I think a guy got fired because he played Future. Like he
got fired.
And he got canned.
I know it was a real thing that like they can't play it in the locker room.
Yeah.
In Denver still. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Russell Wilson rented a Waffle House too. I don't know if you know about that for Sierra's birthday. That was like
that's actually might have been the sweetest thing he's ever done.
There's no point. You could just go to Waffle House with Sierra. Like, give it shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'd be so pissed if I was trying to go to Waffle House, you know?
Just shut down for Sierra.
Yeah, and then there was the like the celibacy pact,
right.
and then him bragging about consummating the marriage and stuff like that. And
so uncomfortable to watch.
It's so wild. Yeah. So
somebody says, don't forget the Panchakarma cleanse with the bowel cleansing.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. The Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a good one, Ryu. Thank you for writing that.
Yeah, quarterbacks are weird. And then,
I loved him, and I loved watching him play. And I actually have a theory about kind of like his downfall last year, but it seems like he's kind of figured something out. Oh yeah, there's my Russell Wilson ornament. Yeah, which is awesome. So Russell Wilson, along with I also have a sexy mermaid cop. It's like I got it at this gay store for like gay stuff. I don't know. I don't mean to make it sound like that, but it's like it's in Tacoma. It's this store with like lots of for gay people. It's great. But I got that. There was the I loved watching him play, but I never gave him a pass. I was like, this dude's weird. And then my theory with him was that the height caught as he lost his mobility. The height stuff really caught up to him because he can't see past his own linemen and he can't move laterally to see downfield. And that's why I think he misses so many open receivers is that he just misses these windows. And it like, that's, you know, if he's out of the pocket, that's something totally different, but he's not out of the pocket like he used to be. Like, it's just so, and I don't know what's going on now. I don't know why he's been playing so much better now. I think they've basically worked your guys' offense around his strengths, and you know it's off to the races, I guess.
Yeah, I think Peyton finally kind of figured it out, and they have a solid running game as well. Javonte Williams stepping up, although not scoring touchdowns. I traded Javonte Williams to Bryan in our fantasy league, so it's been a little bit of disappointment the last 2 weeks. But
I gave up Chris Olave, so it was like Chris Olave just got injured and. It's a little bit of a positive on the swing on it, but yeah. So let's check the voicemails. If anybody called in, do you want to check the chat and see if anybody?
Did you put in the? Oh, you didn't put in the game, did you? Dang.
Which game? Oh,
Russell Wilson one.
It might be from. Do you want to check and see if the last?
Yeah, it's in the other one. I'm sure.
Okay. Wow, no calls, guys. We got a lot of comments though, but no calls. That's disappointing. Wow.
I put it on my socials too.
Yeah, and
we appreciate it.
You know what's funny is that so many of my fans in Olympia here, like I'm kind of like not a lot of football fans.
Yeah.
In my fan base, we're kind of like weirdos here. You know what I mean? So
did you ever watch the XFL stuff in
a little bit? Yeah. Well, I'm good friends with Broccoli Man. I don't know if you know about that.
Oh.
Do you know about the guy who dances with broccoli?
I thought you were talking about Brock Osweiler.
No. His name is Jim Stewart Allen, and I'm good friends with him. And he goes by Broccoli Man, and he goes to different sporting events and dances with broccoli. He was a really great. He was a really great comedian, but always kind of weirdo. He goes Broccoli Guy is.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah. So Broccoli Guy, that's Jim Stewart Allen. He's a really good friend of mine. There he is, right there. Get him, Jim. And he
That's some good looking broccoli, I'll say that.
Dude, he's amazing. So it was funny. He went to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and he danced with potatoes at the Idaho Potato Bowl, and he got in a Jumbotron and he was dancing with it, and then he took a bite out of one of the potatoes and he was on Sports Center. And after that he was hooked. Yeah, he was hooked. So now he dances with broccoli all over the place. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you guys that.
Broccoli's an upgrade. Yeah,
you got to brag about your interesting friends, right?
Yeah,
we do have a game for you real quick, and then we'll let you go here.
All right, cool.
We got to pick if this is a Russell Wilson quote or a quote from the founder of Walmart, Sam Walton.
So take a look.
Whoa.
I had to pick myself up and get on with it. Do it all over again, only better this time. Who said that?
I think it's Walton.
Let's see.
It is Sam Walton.
When you read it out loud, it kind of. I need to.
It's not weird enough to be Russell Wilson.
It's got a little bit of corniness to it, but not enough corn.
Not enough. It
Yeah.
makes too much sense.
Individuals don't win; teams do.
I think that's Walton too. It's just two put together.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's go.
See, I knew this was too easy. I made Perna got 3 through 3. Let's see if you get the last one.
I used to beat up kids and bite kids. And do
That's gotta be Russell Wilson.
Yep.
He was a bully as a kid.
No, he wasn't.
I don't have the.
He wasn't a bully.
That sounds like somebody trying to convince somebody that they were a bully. It sounds like Michael Scott from The Office. That's like Russell Wilson. That's like prison Russell.
Yeah, I used to beat up kids and I would bite them and stuff. Yeah, I was.
You ever feel like Russell Wilson, he basically started impersonating a quarterback because he wanted to be a quarterback really bad, but then he got really good at it, but he's still in his head just impersonating a quarterback.
He was a baseball guy his whole life, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a great baseball player. Yeah.
Did you ever see that clip of him, the Mr. Unlimited clip?
No, I don't know what that is.
We'll pull that.
Oh, you
up.
never seen it? Oh, I gotta.
This is if you like Russell Wilson lore, this is a good clip for you to put in your arsenal of remembering weird stuff about him.
See if this plays.
Yeah, Russell here. Yes, the typical boring. Yes, Russell, robot Russell, the one you guys love to know. Real exciting. I'm real exciting. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited.
Every time.
I ask you, what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you got to be unlimited. Tell them I'm unlimited. You know what I mean? So when they ask you certain questions like,
who brings you motivation, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
Unlimited.
The fact that he has.
Who's your go-to person for advice, Russell?
They think Pete Carroll, they think this person, think that person. Love you, Pete, but it's Mr. Unlimited. Tell him.
Oh,
Dude, that is
Sierra,
it's hard to watch too. Sierra in the background.
Dude, I think he reminds me of a stand-up comedian who's going to quit in about a year and a half. That's the vibe. It's man, I think he wants to be one of these media figures. The freaking Mannings are so good at it, dude. It's so fun to watch.
It's natural for them, yeah.
And Romo, he's got his lane, But I don't think Wilson has a future in broadcasting.
Yeah, it's the social aspect that he wants to do well, and
I
some
like
quarterbacks are good at it, some aren't. But if you're not good at it, most quarterbacks know I'm not going to talk. I'm not a talker. I'm I'm a player. Russell's shouldn't be a talker, but he talks a lot, and I think that's the issue we're
I
finding.
just had this idea too with the miracle water or whatever. It would have been so funny if he had a tie-in with Subway where they had like sandwiches that help with concussions or something. That'd be amazing.
Somehow Russ is not the worst Subway spokesman too.
I wish we had that clip.
Yeah.
They've had worse.
Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that rumor. So
Yeah.
I'm not getting into that.
Yeah. Do we have that? Do we have that clip of Russell from Subway?
I could pull it up.
Let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Which one? Because there's a.
You have a bunch.
Oh, the dangerous one. That was the one.
I was talking about the memes you made, or we found.
I'm really active on TikTok, and like I don't do a lot of. I've never really done the stitches and stuff, but I remember that coming across my timeline, and I thought it was AI. I thought there's no way that he's doing this.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, pretty much everybody eats bread.
And it's bread.
There it is, the miracle.
It's your sandwich. It's called the Danger Witch, and it's dangerously good. Be careful though. It's spicy.
I can't do it. I can't watch the whole thing.
That's hard to watch. It's hard to watch it while people are watching you. Like this is like it's very uncomfortable knowing that people are watching us right
That's
now.
what we could do. We could just be react tubers. That's where all the money is.
Oh,
You see,
yeah,
like
that's a good
Sniper
point.
Wolf, she gets like millions of views, man.
Yeah.
I could just lean in on stuff like that. Like I don't care how weird it is.
Just gotta get the thumbnail face.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I like it weird. I like I've been around stand-up comedy and like, I've been doing it full time for a couple years but the first 5 or 6 years were really rough.
Right.
And I mean, I've seen comedians die on stage. Like I've seen people bomb, and I've bombed really hard a couple times, and oh my God, man, there's something so beautiful about it because like you can say what good or bad, forget about all that stuff. What you're seeing is an authentic human experience.
That's real vulnerability. Yeah.
Russell Wilson is the most Russell Wilson can be.
That's true.
Yeah, he's on this planet with us, and that's incredible.
We all get to watch Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
he's a robot though.
Like every night Russell Wilson goes to sleep, and every morning he wakes up, and we're doing the same thing as him. Like Russell Wilson was born and Russell Wilson will die, and we are on the same. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. Like,
yeah,
I want to meet him. I want to hang out with him. I don't want to hang out with him that much, but I guess I just want to meet him. I don't really want to hang out with him.
Did he try and sell you the miracle bread or whatever?
Well, Sam, we absolutely appreciate you coming on, man. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got coming out.
You can find me at Steve's Hot Dogs in St. Louis, Missouri. Next time I go through. No, Sam Miller Comedy on Facebook, Sam Miller Comedian on Instagram and TikTok, SamMillerComedy.com. Has all my shows. I tour all over. I'm going to Macon, Georgia. I will be back in Denver before too long. So Broncos fans, come talk to me about Russell Wilson. And if you don't, like I always say, if you don't like my comedy, you can fight me in the parking lot if you want. So that'll be fun. Either way, we're going to have a good time.
Right on. Well, we'll share all that in the links. And thank you so much for coming on. And we really appreciate it. And let's ride, I guess. Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride indeed, man. All right, bye, guys.
Score prediction for tonight?
Dallas 17, Seahawks 21.
All right. I like
Yeah.
that.
Witherspoon will get 2 picks tonight. That's what's going to happen.
I hope so, man. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah. Because it's a Thursday night game, but the Seahawks and the Cowboys are both fresh because they just got off a Thursday night game. So it's kind of cool, actually.
It's nice that they lined that up. All right, Sam. We appreciate you, man.
All right, bye, guys.
Great talking to you. That was Sam Miller, everyone. Thank you, Sam. That was great. We appreciate that. It was Bryan's work. He set that up.
Yeah, I just Facebook messaged him and He's a very cool guy, very open to any idea. So go check him out. He also has a really cool podcast with his comedian friend. Him and her do a cool podcast. It's called the TARP Report. So TARP, TARP Report. I wanted to ask him what
tarps.
Yeah, I was wondering what the TARP was about. I don't know if it's like from the story about being homeless or not. Living under a tarp.
Yeah, he didn't have a bed; he had a tarp. So it's like
Yeah.
you take your girl home to a nice tarp.
Well, that's something we probably should go watch the first episode. Go watch the first episode of his podcast, and maybe you could figure it out for us. So, why don't we just jump right into our business?
Yeah, I'm stalling here.
The business side of the meeting. Thank you all for sticking around too. It's been a fun conversation with Sam.
Whose fantasy season's over? Raise your hand.
I mean, consolation brackets.
It's over. It's over, man. It is Jover.
It's Jover.
I was on a 4-game win streak, and unfortunately, that came to an end this weekend, thanks to one Tom, not Tom Grassi, the Tom in our group.
Yeah, and I was on a 4-game losing streak, and I won. So,
at least it changes. We can't win and lose. Have we won? I don't think we've won and lost the same week. Actually,
that's a good
point.
Won
the same week at all. Oh yeah, I do have this up.
Yin and yang.
Maybe we just hang up the therapy phone line if no one wants to call in.
If nobody wants to call in, we'll just.
It's free. It's free therapy, guys. Okay, we don't have a stump, Johnny. We're gonna fast forward that. There's that again, and boom, there we go. Well, so this was 2 weeks ago. So
we did get a phone call.
Oh, we did. You didn't check it before we let him go?
This isn't.
That was
for
your
him.
cue to check it again, because now.
This isn't for him.
Okay, it's for
Hi,
us.
Johnny and Bryan. My name's Joe Rogan from the Joe Rogan Show. Long-time listener, first-time caller. My question about fantasy football.
It's definitely not Nick.
Why is it called
I was just.
No, you can. Didn't we listen to that?
That's from last week. I thought it was funny. I just wanted to play it again.
Okay. See, you made me get excited. I was like,
sorry. No calls this week.
My think tank.
Our listeners aren't interested.
That was a great pick, Jalen Guyton. You're making fun of me for Dan Jones, but Jalen Guyton got it. I know.
He was put on. He was put.
I know it was a freak injury on Friday practice. I know. I'm just giving you crap.
Yes, that's why it's grayed out. Doesn't even count.
And all mine were pretty decent though, except for 2 of them.
Tyler Conklin. When you put
almost half of them.
Kate Otten's picture over Tyler Conklin, if you remember, that was funny.
I did. Yes.
I had to change it.
It was. I had his picture. I didn't put his name there.
That was right. Yeah, you had his picture right. You didn't. And I did start Koo, but I always put Koo, so that's not Koo had a bye week.
Oh, whatever. You're lying. You didn't care to fix it. Let's move on. So yeah, we see the scoreboard. Yada yada yada. I'm basically winning because I have more wows than him. So
I have better goods than you, though.
Indisputed. Quarterbacks of the week. You got Mr. Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, so Mr. Gardner Minshew, this is probably my weakest pick, so I'm glad I'm starting with it. It's only better from here, but I truly am just relying on the fact that these two teams have already played this season, and Minshew did so horribly that I think they'll just do the opposite of what he did, the first time they met, and he'll hopefully do better. And this is sort of my Hail Mary to get more good picks on my total. So there was nobody that I was like, this was just one that I was like, Gardner Minshew can sometimes ball.
Yeah, throw in. It's actually tough. I was looking at it this week. It's tough on quarterbacks and running backs like this time of the year. It's hard to find one of those. So
right.
Yeah, I had a Mr. Kenny Pickett himself, Mr. Tiny Hand Gang.
I just noticed.
Everyone's saying it's just that everyone knows. First 400-yard game since Matt Canada was hired, before he was hired, week 2 of 2020. So that's kind of a big deal. They're slinging it. That Cardinals defense is struggling. I know they have a defensive head coach, and at times they have moments, but they just don't have the roster. They're a rebuilding team. Everyone's scoring points on them. And I think Kenny Pickett, he didn't score a touchdown last week. He still only has like 2 touchdowns since October 1st. I think that changes this week. I think they make some big plays and get it into the end zone, actually. Yep. Maybe Najee Harris doesn't steal my freaking fantasy points from Jalen Warren, but that's a different conversation. Next up, this is the one that I stole from you, apparently, right? You were kind of upset when you saw Dennis Johnson.
And this is my fault. Usually I get my picks in before you. And because I was procrastinating this week, you were able to get your picks in before me, and so
I got everything in here. I got predictions to Tom this week early. I was on top of my crap.
You were just on top of it.
I was exhausted though. I've been exhausted all day.
I was gonna say you had some stuff coming on, later on in the week.
I had to run a bunch of errands today.
Yeah. So I think that was what led to it. But why don't you tell us about D'Ernest Johnson?
Why don't you tell us about it? I wanted to give you a chance to talk to us.
All right. Well,
I know a lot about him.
He's on my bench right now. In my yacht.
Did you pick him up? Oh, you're on the main.
I just picked him up.
League?
I picked him up when I picked him up when I was about to do this today because I was like, who do I want to? Because Etienne is questionable now. He got.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's from. It's a rib injury, but sorry, we do got a question in the chat, but we'll just answer this question real quick. I have a question for Johnny and Bryan. How do I get into fantasy football? Do you pronounce your name Eloise? Or
I like
Eloise?
it. That's a
Eloise?
name. It's a pretty name. Yeah, I think you got to find a group of people who play, and you can find an existing group online or whatnot. There's different. I mean that's like the basic of it, I guess. That sounds kind of condescending for you to say it like that.
I know Jet was talking about getting into it. How do you?
Yeah.
A couple.
Maybe I should start a Barks League next year. Maybe I don't know, sponsor it myself.
That'd be fun.
Like
it's just most of my leagues are from people, and this is just like a thing that happens in college when you just have a bunch of guys on the same floor and they all like want to go want to go talk about football and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I like half my leagues that I've been in are from college, but and then some of it's from work, some work friends, some of it's from
family.
Yeah, I'm in one with my in-laws right now, and one with my college friends. So,
the best is just kind of starting with there's a bunch of free leagues. Actually, NFL has like a bunch of free leagues you can join, so you don't even need to like find like a group of people. You can just join one from online, like a random one online, and kind of playing around with it. I think it might be too late now. I'm sure there's weekly leagues you could try, but just kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the NFL app has playoff fantasy, so you could join a playoff fantasy team or league, which is interesting. It's just like a smaller version of normal fantasy. But
also, Underdog has weekly leagues if you are in a state that I'm pretty sure all states do the drafts. I don't know though. I don't get paid by them. It's a secondary pay. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I broke my toe this week, I think. Did I tell you that? I didn't tell you that. I think I broke my toe.
Oh no.
It still hurts. I just stubbed it like against the wall. And it was like swollen. It just felt like a normal stub of the toe. Like it hurt a little bit more than like a stub.
Is it your pinky toe?
It's the middle one. It's
middle.
It's like the I don't know. I just hit it at a weird angle. I hit like the corner part of the wall, like in the hallway.
Does your middle toe stick out further than your other toes, or is
I can't feel it? Like I don't have feeling in the toe. That's probably not good, right?
I don't know. You might have diabetes too.
I do have high risk for diabetes, but this isn't
It's like circulation. It's a circulation issue, which is a symptom of diabetes.
I need to ice it. Yeah, I did ice it for once, and then I didn't ice it again. Anyways, I just thought that was a fun fact.
D'Ernest Johnson. Have you ever heard of him? So I'll tell you why I picked him.
Take Bigsby has losing carries dramatically to D'Ernest Johnson, who is a former XFL star, by the way. D'Ernest Johnson had time with the Browns, thought he was going to be like a legit guy when he came in. I think it was like 2 years ago when Nick Chubb got hurt. It wasn't like a serious injury, but it was like a couple weeks. Anyways, playing pretty good for the Jaguars. I think he got a touchdown last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's not last week. They did not play the Dolphins. Yeah, I know he's getting carries though as the second running back, so he's officially moved up the depth chart basically. So a good pickup if you're in deeper leagues. I think maybe a 12-man league start, especially if Etienne is out.
I would start him. He's a great handcuff because he looks better than Etienne. Like when you watch them play, I was watching them last week and it was just last week, but he is clearly the better running back. And I don't know if it was just because of rest and stuff, or Etienne was a little shaken up from an injury, but it was like, I knew he was injured at the beginning of the game, but it was crazy. It was like night and day. So, but I picked up Tyler Algier Mr. Algier. They're facing the Jets. They give up the 8th most fantasy points to running backs in an environment where like weather could be an issue in New York. And so I think the run game will be sort of the highlight of the game. And I think Algier just continues to randomly find ways to steal touches from Bijan.
It's gonna be a disgusting game. I'm not watching that game.
Oh, yeah,
Jets and Falcons. It's gonna get they're just gonna run it the entire time. And maybe if Hackett learns his lesson, because they handed the ball to Breece Hall like 7 times last week, and freaking Tim Boyle threw it almost 40 times, that's a different story. I like your pick though. I like your pick. Let's go wide receivers. Why don't you tell us about Mr. AT? I really liked AT Perry coming out of the draft. Actually, I really wanted the Packers to get another big guy. I'm glad he got a touchdown. Was it last weekend?
I don't think he got a touchdown.
It was a weekend before. It was somewhat recently. I thought he got a touchdown. I thought I saw.
But the reason why I picked him, and it's pretty obvious, there's a ton of people getting injured. Wide receivers getting injured. So
Saints.
Michael Thomas is out in IR. Olave looks extremely doubtful. Rashid Shaheed is looking questionable with his hamstring. And literally A.T. Perry's the next man up. And I'm also, spoiler alert, I'm also pairing Taysom Hill with for tight end for my tight end pick this week.
He's literally the next man up.
Literally.
You gotta put him in.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good pick. Did you see Michael Thomas like throwing shade at? I think it was like Derek Carr. He was throwing shade at someone. I'm not sure. Kind of looking at extra hard, but it was a clip of Drew Brees talking about how it's like, yeah, Michael Thomas, he's there when he's always open. I'll just throw it to him and whatever. And he's like, yeah, Drew Brees knew. So I guess you could say it's shade at Derek Carr. Yeah, I think that's.
I'm looking it up.
This is a podcast.
That Derek Carr?
We just talk. You don't have to click on it. You can just click on something else on the YouTube page.
What's this?
We talk about sports, and we no. If you haven't watched the show already, we take one player from each position that we like for the week. Sleeper picks to have a good game, so you don't have to listen to us if you have a good fantasy team. But we just like to try and find some hidden gems, or maybe you can even take it as betting advice. Bet the overs on these guys over at Underdog. There you go. Get that sponsor read for you, Bryan. All right. I got Elijah Moore because obviously Cooper is hurt. And if actually look, I think, well, Joe Flacco is playing. We talked about that. But if you look at Elijah Moore, he's getting targets. He's like a good cusp guy that might be in your waiver wire, might not. He's in our waiver wire, so I went with him. I think the Browns are running low on receivers, and he's kind of like the only real veteran guy besides Cooper that they have because they traded whatever his name was. So yeah, I like Elijah Moore this week to get more.
And it's good to look at like the percentage of how many leagues own or how many people own.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do like a new format next year and have like stats and like projections for each player.
I know A.T. Perry.
Maybe people would take us more seriously. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we do keep track of our picks. So how many of our picks?
That's
but
what
we
should add that to the. No, that's fine. Where it is.
We should do like to make it official. We should do. You can't pick somebody who's owned by 40% or more of leagues in Yahoo.
I had an idea for next year. Maybe we do that. What was my idea? Oh yeah, we just draft teams against each other every week in like a 2-man league on Underdog. And then we battle it out and see who wins at the end of the year, and then have some punishment.
That's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Get punished.
Because then we can talk. And then we could talk during our draft picks. We talk about this guy's available. I like him because this.
Like doing that live.
You make your pick. Yeah. Just do it.
That'd be fun.
I think we could do a pirate draft. Maybe I might have to talk to Perno to.
I like that idea. Throw it on the ideas board.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about tight ends.
Ooh.
I've God's chosen
is
one.
Taysom Hill a tight end, or is he? I don't know what it is. He's actually taken most snaps at receiver, so he should be labeled a receiver, honestly. But then he'd be useless as a fantasy person, so I get it.
Right. So Taysom Hill, the issue with this one is he's owned by a lot of leagues. So, but he's been scoring like poop lately. So, So I can see why people would drop him. But this is an iffy pick. I don't know if I should be picking him or not. But he's not. The thing is, we all know about Taysom Hill. He's like a boomer bust type of guy. So he's not like an everyday starter tight end. There's 12 better tight ends in the NFL that you would start over him. So for fantasy purposes, but
I don't hate it though. I mean, the Saints. I mean, they have to use someone. With all the receivers getting hurt, I don't think it's a bad pick. I mean,
right?
Did you actually see? I think the last 32 drives, the Saints have scored 3 touchdowns, and all 3 of those touchdowns, Derek Carr has been on the sideline. 2 of them were with Jameis Winston under center, and one of them was with Taysom Hill that Derek Carr was on the sideline for because Taysom Hill was playing quarterback. So and I think Taysom Hill ran it in for a touchdown, or he maybe passed it. But yeah, pretty crazy. That Saints offense is not doing well.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
I have Tucker Kraft, Mr. Kraft Cheese himself. A little bit of a risky pick, I think, but I decided to stick with it because that's like I think it's just that rough time of the year. I think people that are competitive are competitive with the waiver wire because you got half the league kind of checked out, and then everyone else is like getting everyone valuable. Like our waiver wire is getting crazy. Like I dropped some guys that I thought were kind of like I might be there for me if I wanted them back, and they all got claimed, like all the Packer guys. Which is, I think it's funny because you guys are like, oh, Packers offense suck, blah, blah, blah. And then you guys all are bidding $5 for the Packers receivers and for Jordan Love. Like, okay, I guess they are good then.
Well, being good in fantasy and being good in real life are 2 different things.
You're not wrong. I'm just trying to have a point here. I'm trying to just make a point. I'm trying to be a victim. Okay, don't squash my logic.
All right, we'll take Tucker Kraft. We'll take that, man.
Yeah, but yeah, he had 2 catches last week and a touchdown. So even though he had a touchdown last week, still didn't do amazing. So I wouldn't expect anything huge. But if you're in one of those 12-man leagues and you really need someone, or if you're in one of those crazy 20-man leagues with rappers, then Tucker Kraft could be your guy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, the Buccaneers. I like that pick. I think I thought about that, and then I also was like, nah, because I like the trend of coaches fired, their team is winning the next week, and their offense doing like it happened with the Steelers. Obviously, we just saw that their offensive coordinator, and it happened with the Raiders after Josh McDaniels got booted to the side.
Right.
I don't know. I don't hate it though. I mean, Bryce Young is struggling for sure. So
normally
they lost their head coach and coordinator, so that's really interesting to see what happens.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say normally, the first game after coach firing is like a trap game. The players and staff have something to prove, and like there's extra preparation to show that they're capable of moving on without those people. Everybody has like a chip on their shoulder, all that jazz. But the one thing you have to keep in mind is Bryce Young is ass. He's not good. He has no talent, and he has nothing to back him up except Adam Thielen. So, and then of course Tampa Bay is coming off a couple mediocre defensive showings, and I think they're just going to capitalize on this moment. I think I'm going to say this goes against the trend of after a firing, a team goes off. I think this is 100% an example of there's no way this team can go off. Like the Raiders had weapons. Like the Raiders had Jacobs and Adams.
No, you're not wrong. Yes.
And a great defense.
It's not on. Can we just make it clear? It's not on Bryce Young. He's playing like ass. Yes. I don't know. We don't know if he is ass because he has no help. His line is shit. His best receiver is a freaking Adam Thielen.
All right.
Their defense is letting up. Their defense is like the worst in the league against running also. So their opponents are just running the ball, running time clock off the clock. And so Bryce can't do anything in his limited time. And his play callers aren't helping. Like if you can't just put it on Bryce, is all I'm saying. He is playing like ass. Yes.
It's not.
Do we know he's ass? No. You're talking about like Justin Fields' rookie year. This is what Justin Fields' rookie year looked like. He had no help on offense, and his line was ass.
Not on Bryce. It's not
exactly.
On Bryce.
Okay.
Can you pull up it while we're talking?
I just want to make that clear because I just didn't
I agree.
I didn't like the way you talked about Bryce Young because he could still be good. That's all.
I understand. It's hard to rag on rookies like that when they're like it's in their first year and they have such a horrible situation. I get it. I'm a Bears fan. I get that. I've seen it with Fields. I've seen it with.
I think that's a good comparison though, because like it was like what he had Darnell Mooney and like a half-assed Allen Robinson his rookie year. Like that was all he had. So that's what you're gonna get.
while we're talking, you just said it's not on. He said it's not on Bryce. It reminded me of a very funny video, and I'm gonna
Was it a
send this
video
to
I
you.
know? Okay.
Look up Jamie Foxx on YouTube, and we could share this. It's just a 20-second clip. Jamie Foxx impersonates Doc Rivers. It's a 29-second clip on
This
valued
is not the
edits.
31-second clip. This is
29 valued edits.
Why don't you just send me a link?
I was gonna, but I didn't want it to play in the background. I didn't know how to do that. It's not on Bryce. He his Doc Rivers is insane. Jamie Foxx is so talented
Oh, this one
with
with
impressions.
Seinfeld. Not a
Maybe.
safe show. Just send me the link, man. I don't know where it is.
Here, I'll send it to
Making everyone wait. Everyone's leaving. No one wants to watch this.
you.
It's a show, man.
Facebook. All right, it's in your chat in 2 seconds. This is so good, it's worth the wait. I'll tell you that much. You just got it, Johnny.
Okay.
Doc Rivers, Jamie Foxx impression of Doc Rivers. Turn up your volume.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know. I can explain it. I mean, it's not Blake's fault. It's not Blake's fault. It's not on Blake.
Doc, can you sing "Happy Birthday" to my kid? Good, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know. I can't explain it. We tried. I mean,
Is my voice
it's
that
not Blake's
raspy?
fault. It's not Blake's fault. It's not on Blake.
No, you're like, it's not on Bryce.
It's not on Bryce, though. It's not.
It's what he's doing the it's not on Blake. It's not Blake's fault. I was thinking you were acting
Hilarious,
like,
Brian. Thank you for sharing
You're
that.
acting like Doc
That was so
Rivers.
funny. I loved it a lot. That was really funny. Brian.
sorry. He does a funny
No, I don't know. Can you hear it? Well, I think it's because of my computer.
It wasn't super loud. Well, you just everybody look it up if you want to watch it. The 4 people that are left.
I mean, pretty much everybody eats bread.
Pretty much everybody eats bread. So
Pretty much everybody eats bread. All right, where were we at? We were at the defense. I didn't get to explain my defensive pick. Chargers defense versus the Patriots. Patriots are in full tank mode. They might start Bailey Zappi again. I don't know what they're doing. Chargers defense, people are ragging on the Chargers defense a lot this week, but they held the Ravens. Their offense gave up 4 turnovers, and the Ravens scored 3 points off of them. I think the Ravens defense, the Ravens offense was somewhat concerning. So the Chargers, I don't feel too bad about them. I know they have not had a great defense or running defense, and so maybe Ramondre Stevenson puts up some yardage on him, but I still like him as a fantasy pick. So, and then of course I got through to Gooch McManus as my weekly pick, who was in the green last week.
Yeah, I have Koo as usual.
We only have
By the way-
two. We only have two.
I only had 2
Seattle
names.
Seahawks.
I was trying to work on some, and I wasn't feeling creative today. But Santos Claus, that's a reference to Cairo Santos, who gave us the win last week. The Bears the win.
He did. Yes.
And
Is that a win? Do you consider that a win, or are you in tank mode, or do you kind of just
No,
like,
I
we'll
liked
take-
it.
we'll
I
take
was
whatever?
happy
No,
about
I
it.
agree. I agree.
It was a good win. It was against a decent team, a divisional team, with their number 1 quarterback and their number 1 wide receiver out.
I think that was the first game someone has won this season without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was crazy. And Cairo Santos,
4 field goals. Yeah,
people must have forgot this, but he missed his first field goal. And I thought
he did. I remember that. It was like a 40-yarder or something.
Yeah. And I thought in the back of my head, I was like, okay, Matt Eberflus is kind of a bad coach. He's not going to let Cairo Santos kick the ball anymore. He's just going to try and force touchdowns. And he didn't. Eberflus was a pretty good game manager for what his team was doing. It was like some weird, bad offensive calls by Luke Getsy. I think Eberflus was a good game manager this week, and it was mostly.
I think you have to get into Brett Maher territory to just go for it on 4th down, that kind of thing.
Right.
Avoid kicking. You have to be a real funk. But yeah, we'll see. I think is that Seattle Seagulls. I'm not going to criticize you. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Seattle Seagulls is reference to a Sam Miller joke, which I was trying to get him to talk about, but it was just hard it's hard to do that naturally. So, but he has this whole bit because when he was homeless, we were talking about this, how Sam Miller, the guy who was our guest earlier, was homeless at one point, And he was talking about how when he was first asked by his now wife to go out, and she said, "Hey, can we go back to your place?" He goes, "Nah, me and my roommates are kind of having an issue right now." And he's like, "But my roommates are seagulls." Because he's like, "I don't have roommates. My roommates are seagulls." And so that's a joke. And there was a roommate. He said there was a rumor going around that he ate seagull eggs when he was homeless and addicted to drugs. And he was talking about like just some weird things when you get sober and you hear stuff about yourself. It was just a funny.
yeah.
Look him up. Like he's seriously one of the best. He's gonna be like a top tier comedian one day. And you saw him live on our podcast. So
It's first sports podcast.
it's his first sports podcast, and you saw him live.
We did it. Appreciate you coming out, Jim. We appreciate you, man. We'll get you We'll get you ended here. We're getting past our hour mark by a little bit. Yeah, it's 7:13. This game's about to start. Actually,
Yeah.
Here's our pick'ems for
Put your
the week.
underdogs in. Put your pick'ems in.
Oh, did you even put this in?
Yeah, I put
Ryan?
yours in. Yours is on the right.
No, I mean, did you make your bet? Did you actually place your bet?
I can't. I'm in Missouri.
I
but
could have done it for you.
I didn't. You were driving and all this. I didn't want to put that on you. But this would have been my pick on the left. I did 5. Jackson Smith and Jigba, lower than 5.5 targets. You could see what I had there. I think the most unique one on here is the Jake Ferguson. Or no, Jake Ferguson. I was leaning on the kicker. Brandon Aubrey getting more than 2 or more field goals. So
that might be the riskiest one, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they can, yeah. I have a Dak not throwing an interception. I have 10. I like the targets recently because it seems like they hit quite a lot for me. Then Rico Dowdle getting 27 receiving and rushing yards. He's coming off injury, but he is getting healthier, so I like them to use him a little bit more tonight, especially maybe in garbage time. And then Tyler Lockett with 5 receptions. I like that ticket a lot. Punch it in, baby. That's
all right. Well, let's see how we do. Last week we both lost, but if you're anything like Perna, that's normal for us. So let's see if we can get our first.
I think we have a chance. Yeah. But folks, we appreciate you coming out. It is 7:15. Go get your popcorn, your snacks, whatever you need to watch this lovely Amazon Prime game that will surely be a game on Amazon Prime.
I hope you got all your Cyber Monday deals and enjoy Amazon.
Was it Cyber Monday this week? I missed out. I didn't know.
Oh, well, there's always next year. Or
there is. Technically, most of them will last like a whole month. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they will do those sales eventually a couple months from now, too. All right, everybody.
Now, I'm Johnny Barks. To this side, I'm bad with directions. That's Bryan, too. And you have been Johnny Barksified. I appreciate y'all. I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap and not watch this game. Just kidding. Bye. Bye-bye.